Hello friends, this is Bindu Kumar here. Let's solve this question together. In the following arithmetic progression, find the missing terms in the boxes. So here we have the arithmetic progression in which the list of numbers are 5, unknown, unknown, and 9 1 by 2. So let's write down what we can understand from this question. We have 5, we have unknown, unknown, and 9 1 by 2. So since they have said it's already an arithmetic progression, we can say the value of A1 is 5, value of A2 and A3 is unknown, and the value of A4 is 9 1 by 2. Okay. Now, how do we solve this question? How do we find out the value for A2 and A3? So for this, we have to write down all the formulas that we know about an arithmetic progression. Okay, so how do you define a list of numbers as being in arithmetic progression? So a list of numbers A1, A2, A3 and A4 are said to be in arithmetic progression if they are of the form A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D and so on, where D is the common difference and D can be identified by A of n plus 1 minus A of n. So which means D equals, for example, A4 minus A3. This value will also be equal to A3 minus A2. And this should also be equal to A2 minus A1. So if you observe all the formulas that we just wrote, this particular set of formulas look useful. Why? Because here we are referring to A4, A3, we have A2 as well as A1. All the four terms which are here. So if we can use this equation somehow, we should be able to find the values for A2 and A3. So let's write this equation here. Okay. So first we will write A4 minus A3 equals A3 minus A2. Next set of equation will be A3 minus A2 equals A2 minus A1. So you see we took two pairs, right? We took first this and this, and then again this and this equation, right? But now there is a pattern here, which is if we say A4 minus A3 is A and A3 minus A2 is B, right? Again here you have A3 minus A2 which is also B, and here you have A2 minus A1 which is equal to C. So this is of the form A equal to B and B equal to C. So we know that if A equal to B and B equal to C, then A is equal to C, correct? So we can use this to come up with one other formula, which is A equal to C. So what is A here? It is A4 minus A3. So I'll write A4 minus A3 equals C. C is A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1. Okay. So with this, let me just erase this because this is a big sum. I will need some space. So I will clear these numbers. Okay, in fact, we don't need these boxes, so I'll try and erase it carefully. Okay, so we'll stop here. Now we have three different sets of equations that we can use. One is here, the other is here, and finally here. We can use any equation to achieve or to find out the value of A2 and A3, but we have to see which one to use, which is better out of the three equations. right? So for that, what I'll do is I will check what values that I already know. So for example, in the first equation, do I know the value of A4? Yes, the value of A4 is given as 9 1 by 2, right? So yes, the value of A3 is unknown. Here also the value of A3 is unknown. The value of A2 is unknown. Moving on to the second equation, value of A3 is unknown. Value of A2 is unknown. The value of A2 is unknown again. The value of A1 is known. Moving on to the third equation, the value of A4 is known. Value of A3 is unknown. Value of A2 is unknown. And value of A1 is known. Okay, now look at all these three equations. Here we only know one value. There are three unknown values. In the second equation, again there are three unknown values, only one known value. But in the final equation, we have two known values, two unknown values. So this is better. The third equation is better because we have more known values there. Okay, so let's start with the third equation. So again, I am going to erase this. I'll erase the plus and into that I put here, tick marks. Okay, and let me just write down. This is A2, this is A1, and this is A4. Okay, now I'll write the third equation. A4 minus A3 equals A2 minus A1. Now the value of A4 is 9 1 by 2 minus A3 is unknown, so I'll write it as this, and A2 is also unknown, write it as this. The value of A1 is 5. Okay, now what we want to do is we will keep all numbers on one side and keep all the variables on the other side. Okay, so for that we will have to balance the equation. So I'll say 9 1 by 2 minus A3 equals A2 minus 5. Now I want to remove A3 from the left hand side. So since it is minus A3, I will add plus A3. Okay, and that same plus A3 I should add it to the right side as well. This is because I want to balance the equation. Also, I want to remove minus 5 from the right side of the equation. So I will write plus 5 here. Now that plus 5 I will add it here also. Okay, so now we can balance the equation. Minus 5 and plus 5 cancel out each other. Okay, here minus A3 and plus A3 cancel out each other. So what we are left with is 9 1 by 2 plus 5 equals A2 plus A3. Okay, now let's convert this mixed fraction to a proper fraction. So we have 9 1 by 2. If we have 9 1 by 2, it can be converted to a mixed proper fraction by multiplying 9 into 2 plus the numerator here, which is 1, divided by the denominator again. So which gives us 18 plus 1 by 2, which is 19 by 2. Okay, so I'll write 19 by 2 plus 5 equals A2 plus A3. Now we will add 19 by 2 plus 5. So to do that, again I'll clear up some space here. Okay, so we'll do 19 by 2 plus 5. So I'll add 1 as the denominator. Now we will cross multiply numerator into denominator. We get 19 into 1 plus numerator into denominator 5 into 2 divided by denominator into denominator, which is 2 into 1, which equals 19 plus 10 by which equals 29 by 2. Okay, so now we will write 29 by 2 equals A2 plus A3. Now here we can decide whether we want to find the value of A3 first or A2 first. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll keep A3. So let's use A3 first. Okay, so what we will do is 29 by 2 equals A2 plus A3. I will balance the equation by taking out A2. So I'm adding minus A2 here, but whatever I do on the right hand side, I should also do on the left hand side to balance the equation. So now plus A2 and minus A2 cancel out each other. We are left with A3 equals 29 by 2 minus A2. Okay, so this is the value that we have got for A3, but still this is not the final answer because we still have A2 here. Correct, we still have the reference of A2. So now let's go to the next step. Okay, so what we will do is we have a partial answer for A3. Let's use that in the second equation. The second equation is here, right? So we will write the second equation here. Let me just draw a box so that it's easy to understand. Okay, so I'll start writing here. I'll write A3 minus A2 equals A2 minus A1. Now we have the value of A3 as 29 by 2 minus A2. So I'll write 29 by 2. So I'm just doing a simple substitution. 29 by 2 minus A2. Okay, and again whatever is left over minus A2 from here equals A2 minus A1. We already have the value of A1 as 5. So I'll write 5 here. Okay. So now we'll remove the bracket and we'll start simplifying the equation. 29 by 2 minus A2 equal to A2 minus 5. So we have two A2s here. So this becomes 29 by 2 minus 2A2 equals A2 minus 5. So let's keep A2 on one side. Okay, and we will keep all the numbers on the other side. Okay, so let's balance the equation now. So we will write 29 by 2 minus 2A2 equals A2 minus 5. So here I want to remove the 5. So I will write plus 5. Now that plus 5 I should write on the left side of the equation also. Also on the left side I want to remove this minus 2A2. So what I'll do, I'll write plus 2A2. And that plus 2A2 I'll write on the other side also. Okay, so now let's balance the equation. We have minus 2A2 and plus 2A2 cancelling out each other. We have minus 5 and plus 5 cancelling out each other. So finally we get 29 by 2 plus 5 equals, so here we have A2 and 2A2, which becomes 3A2. Okay, now let's calculate 29 by 2 plus 5. So here again adding 1 here. So let me just draw a line. So this is my worksheet, right, where I'm just practicing the calculations. So cross multiply 29 into 1, 29 into 1 plus 5 into 2, 5 into 2 divided by denominator into denominator, which is 2 into 1, which equals 29 plus 10 divided by 2, which equals 39 by 2. So 29 by 2 plus 5 gives us 39 by 2. So 39 by 2 equals 3A2. Now here we still have 3. right? I want to get rid of 3. I want to remove the 3. So we will again balance the equation. So to take this number, I will divide it by 1 by 3. Okay, or I'm sorry, multiply by 1 by 3. Okay, so whatever I do on the left hand side, right hand side, I'll do it on the left hand side also. So here 3 divided by 3, we get 1. Okay, and on the other side, 3 into 1 equal to 3, and 3 into 13 equal to 39. Okay, so we get 13 by 2 equals to A2. Okay, now how do we convert 13 by 2 into a mixed fraction? Because if you see in the question, some of the answer is in the form of mixed fraction. So we will do the same. Okay, so 13 divided by 2, 2 into 6 equal to 12, we get 1. So we can write this number as 6 1 by 2. Okay, so now we can say the value of A2 is 6 1 by 2. Okay, so now we have completed one half of the question, which is finding the value of A2. So let's write that down. Okay, so I'll write it here. So now we know the answer of A2 as 6 1 by 2. Okay, we still have to find the others. Now I would like to quickly make some room here so that I can do the rest of the calculation. Okay, so now let me erase the first part. Okay, so this was the intermediate step. So I'll erase this. Let me pick a larger eraser so I can quickly erase it. Okay, so now I have place. Alright, so we have got the value of A2, which is 6 1 by 2, or it can also be written as 13 by 2. Okay, now there is only one value left to be identified, which is A3. We already have a formula for A3. Okay, so if you remember, we wrote the value of A3 here. Let me just circle it here. See, so value of A3 was equal to 29 by 2 minus A2. Okay, so let's use that formula. We will say A3 equals 29 by 2 minus A2. Okay, now 29 by 2 minus, we know the value of A2 as 13 by 2. Now here, since the denominator is the same, we can just add the numerator directly, which is 29 plus 13. I'm sorry, it is not plus, it is minus 29 minus 13 divided by 2, which gives us, so 29 subtract 13 from it, so we get 6 and 1. So 16 by 2. Let me write it again. 16 by 2, which is 8. Okay, so the value of A3 is 8. Okay, so with this, we can fill in the last remaining open question, which is the value of A3 as 8. So with this, we have identified the value of A2 and A3. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the bell button to get notified of new videos.